Hey, have you seen this? I think he's going to jump. Turn it on, keep recording. Are you getting this? He's going to do it. Come on, you're on film. You'll be on YouTube. Jump.
Don't listen to them, Tom. It's too high for you.
Come on, Tom, get on with it.
The water's not deep enough. There's rocks down there.
This here is one of the beauty spots in Plymouth, but recently it's become more well known for its tombstoning rather than its tourism. With over 20 deaths and 60 injuries in the past 8 years, it's a wonder why daredevils still feel the need to gamble with their lives off jumps like this. We went to the Royal Corinthian Yacht Club to speak to Mr. Thomas, who has witnessed the dangers of tombstoning himself, as his club is a perfect target.
We're on the waterfront here. The Royal Plymouth Corinthian Yacht Club is situated on the waterfront, and unfortunately we have an ideal location for the children and teenagers to jump off the roof. And every year, every summer in particular, we seem to be a prime target, an ideal location for them to jump off our flat roof into what is nearly a 60-foot drop. And this has been going on now for the last 5 or 6 years.
Have you come across any injuries when they've been doing so?
We've had one in particular about 2008 or 3 or 4 years ago, and where a young lad jumped off and the tide was not quite in as far as off as he hoped it would be, and he broke an ankle. This involved a lot of the emergency services attending, including the lifeboat, cliff rescue, the police, the ambulance and all sorts of other people.
With all these services required for one incident, we spoke to Mr. Milford at the Plymouth Lifeboat Station to get a deeper insight into the search and rescue side of tombstoning. How often do you get called out to tombstoning incidents each year?
Each year is a difficult one. We didn't get many at all last year. Year before it was probably in a region of once a fortnight, I suppose, in the summer season. But last year, Ministry of Defence Police do a lot of work here as well. And if the Devon and Cornwall Police are involved, they call the Ministry of Defence Police rather than call us. So the figures that you've got probably don't compare very favourably with the figures that I've got, unless of course there's an injury to which the Ministry of Defence Police don't usually deal a lot with if there's first aid in that involved, and that's usually when we get called in, so it depends really.
What's the worst injury you've come across?
Spinal injury. Many years ago, I had a girl with a, she came off the top board of the diving board when it was there by the swimming pool, and she broke her back. That was probably the worst I've ever come across.
Do you know why the diving boards were taken down?
Yes, well, I do, because they try to stop people from using it. The answer to it would have been, if you wanted to stop the tombstoning, would have been to leave the diving board where it was. I'm 60 years old. I remember jumping off that when I was 5. All right, the same bit of water underneath, the same rocks, nothing's changed. If they'd have kept that board there and put a lifeguard there, at the cost of Plymouth City Council, or even kept a lifeguard there and charged them 10 pence to use the diving board, then they wouldn't be jumping off the roof of the Corinthian Yacht Club, would they?
How much does it cost you to get people out to these incidents which probably shouldn't be occurring?
Well, cost is never an issue for us, purely because that's what we're there for. And obviously cost is an issue to the RNLI, but it doesn't matter what it costs. Even if it's requires a helicopter and the fire brigade and the Coast Guard for a rescue team or whatever. But cost-wise, it would definitely be an inshore lifeboat with 3 guys on it. I mean, obviously 3 guys are all volunteers, they don't get paid, but there's the cost of the fuel and everything else. If it is quite a serious spinal injury or something like that, then it would probably rip the big boat away as well, which is another 7 guys, which uses even more fuel. But right in front of the O, it's not really a colossal cost, no.
So how does it make you feel as like a volunteer for the NRLI to get called out to incidents like it?
It's what we're here for. The type of incident we go for, albeit sometimes is quite sad, in that, you don't like to see people injured or at worst even dead. But at the end of the day, that's what we join for, That's like asking a fireman, what do you feel about going out to a fire, I mean, that's what he joined the fire brigade for.
But could the lifeboats end up getting called out to someone who has paid the ultimate sacrifice sooner rather than later? Do you think it will take a death to raise serious concern? about the whole?
Obviously it will bring and highlight it, but I still believe they will come back. When I was talking about that young lad who injured himself, breaking his leg, he was back the following day on crutches, encouraging his other friends to jump off the roof. Let's hope it doesn't come to a death, but I'm pretty sure it would raise the issue quite a bit, but putting them off, no.
We've seen the effects of tombstoning and what it can have on not only the victims, but the wider community, and it's definitely something that should be done under professional supervision. So stay safe and think twice.